Did you know there's a creature that doesn't wait for midnight on Christmas Eve because he's already watching you long before? A creature that isn't here to check your wish list, but to punish you for every lie, every tantrum, every little thing you got away with this year. Most people celebrate Christmas with lights, gifts, and music, but in parts of Europe, Christmas begins with fear, and that fear has a name: Krampus. Tonight, we're going deep into the legend of Krampus, where he came from, why he punishes children, what he looks like, and the terrifying modern sightings that still happen every December. But before we continue, tell me in the comments, if a demon knocked on your door tonight, would you open it just to see what happens? Krampus is described as massive, towering over full-grown men. A creature with thick black fur, long goat horns curling from his skull, glowing eyes, sharp fangs, and a tongue so long it almost touches the ground. But the worst part isn't his face. It's the sound you hear before he arrives, chains dragging across snow. Some legends say he wraps those chains around the ankles of disobedient children and drags them away. But where exactly did this creature come from? To understand Krampus, we have to go back hundreds of years, deep into the mountains of Austria and Germany. Before Santa Claus, before Christmas trees, before Christianity even reached some villages. Krampus wasn't originally a Christmas monster. He was older, ancient, a winter spirit meant to scare people into good behavior. Imagine living in a small snowy village with no electricity, barely any food, and winter storms so strong they buried houses. People believed darkness itself watched them, so they created stories of creatures who punished the wicked. When Christianity arrived, something strange happened. Instead of destroying the Krampus legend, the church connected him to Saint Nicholas, turning him into Santa's terrifying shadow. Saint Nicholas brought gifts. Krampus brought fear, good and evil, light and dark, both arriving on the same night. Let me ask you something. If Santa and Krampus walked into your house, which one would say your name first? Some people believe Krampus doesn't just punish children. He punishes anyone who tries to hide their wrongdoing, adults included. There are old stories of Krampus visiting grown men who cheated, lied, or committed crimes, and the punishment they received was never mentioned again. And then there's the question everyone asks: what does Krampus actually do with the children he takes away? Some legends say he drags them to the underworld. Others say he throws them into a frozen river. But the darkest version? He doesn't kill them at all. He keeps them as servants forever. Now let's talk about the modern sightings, because yes, people still claim to encounter Krampus today. Every December, in countries like Austria, there's something called the Krampuslauf, the Krampus Run. Hundreds of people dress as Krampus and roam the streets, yelling, growling, chasing people, and rattling chains. It's supposed to be fun, a tradition. But every year, there are reports of people fainting, people running in fear, and sometimes, very rarely, someone in the crowd swears one Krampus was too tall, too silent, too realistic to be human. One mother said she saw a Krampus at a parade who wasn't wearing a mask. She described its eyes as glowing amber, and its breath visible even though the air wasn't cold. When she looked away for 1 second, it disappeared, not into the crowd, but completely vanished. Here's another story. A boy in Germany claimed he heard heavy footsteps outside his window on December 5th, Krampus night. He thought it was his father outside, but his father was asleep in the living room. When the boy finally looked out the window, he saw a tall, horned figure standing in the snow, staring up at him without blinking. The only proof was the giant hoofprints left behind the next morning. Let me ask you this. If you heard chains dragging across your hallway right now, would you dare check? Some towns even warn parents each year not to leave their children alone at night in early December, not because they believe in Krampus, but because the legend has inspired real people to act like him. That means that even if the demon isn't real, someone else might be. But here's the strange part. For many people, Krampus isn't seen as evil. He's seen as necessary, a balance to Santa, a reminder that actions have consequences, even during the happiest time of the year. There is also a theory that Krampus doesn't actually punish children for being bad. Instead, he punishes them for ignoring warnings, ignoring instincts, ignoring that tiny feeling you get when something is wrong. Some people think Krampus represents fear itself, the fear that protects you from danger. But I want you to think about this. If fear protects you, why would something as terrifying as Krampus need to exist? There's an even older version of the story that says Krampus isn't alone. There are multiple Krampuses, an entire species of winter demons. Some smaller, some larger, some with deer skulls instead of goat horns. Villagers believe they traveled in groups, hiding in forests and mountains during the rest of the year and coming out only in December. If you were walking alone in the snow and you heard something big breathing behind you, what would you do? Run? Freeze? Or pretend you didn't hear anything? Another creepy detail. Old artwork shows Krampus holding a list, just like Santa. But the names written on Krampus's list are crossed out. Some people believe those are the children he already took. Others think those are his next targets. Here's a question for you. If Krampus had a list, would your name be on it? Now let's talk about why modern people still fear him. Psychologists say Krampus is scary because he combines three fears: fear of the dark, fear of punishment, and fear of being watched. And these fears don't disappear when we grow up. We just learn to ignore them. But every December, the legend creeps back. There are even videos online of something standing in snowy forests at night, too tall and too still to be human. Are they real? Fake? We don't know, but people keep posting them. So here's the big question. Is Krampus real? Most people will say no, he's just a legend. But legends don't survive hundreds of years unless people believe them for a reason. And when thousands of people in different countries describe the same monster, it makes you wonder. Maybe Krampus isn't a literal demon. Maybe he's symbolic. Or maybe, just maybe, something really is out there in the snow at night, watching, waiting, listening. Before we wrap up, answer this in the comments. Do you think Krampus is just a story, or is there something much darker hiding behind the legend? And if you could choose the next urban legend for me to cover, what would it be? If you enjoyed this deep dive into Krampus, make sure you subscribe for more scary stories, myths, and mysteries. Trust me, the next one will be even darker.